Monique is joyful. Monique is joyful. Welcome to Monique is joyful. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Hello, guys. Welcome. My name is Monique, and this is my channel. Monique is joyful. Welcome, joyful family. And today I have a special guest, and it's my son, my firstborn, named D'Angelo, and we are going to discuss finding love within yourself.
Yes.
And he came to me with this idea today. So,
Yes.
And I'm like, we've been talking about collaborating together and just, talking about different.
And it's nice to meet you guys, you joyful people, and peace and blessings to you all and stuff. And you want to get right into it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, the reason why I came from there about talking about loving yourself and talking about finding beauty in yourself, because like in my life, I had struggles with loving myself too, and my mom always told me about you're not better than nobody, nobody's better than you, but also it's hard. Honestly, you have being honest and being vulnerable. Like, you have people on the outside that love negativity, and negativity is very much promoted in media and music and just everywhere. You see more negative stuff than you see more positive stuff. You'll see hip hop going on forever, but you'll see like something that's proactive, like we'll say
like if you
Family Feud, but something that's proactive, something that's a family oriented, being canceled quicker than love hip hop. So it's like, and I love hip hop, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like, it's just negativity runs the world. Yeah. So it's like, you could have positivity in your home, but when you step out and go outside with outsiders, also you see it's people always hating or just because they didn't have love, and they don't have love at home, they're projecting their anger within themselves onto you. And my whole thing is this: self-love comes from knowing that you are worth something. Self-love comes from knowing that if you can look yourself in the mirror, nobody's perfect. I have big eyes, and I used to have a big R right before I grew into my face. And my whole thing is you still somebody, because I'd rather my inside be beautiful than my outside, because that's what shines to most people. When people talk to you, they can see your heart, your spirit, by what you say out your mouth.
That's true.
So
when they get to know you, they get to see who you really are.
And that's what you want. You want people that's around you that is not just judge you based off how you look. You want people that want to be around you based off of your spirit. And you want people that's like that themselves.
Because that's so shallow. Because in that case, everyone that you first meet when it comes to dating, it would be like, okay, well, they attractive on the outside, so they gonna treat me right.
Right.
Exactly. And it don't work like that.
Exactly. And my whole thing is this: I have people that's my age. I know people that I'm friends with and coworkers that settle for less because they don't love themselves. Because you cannot say you love yourself, but you willing to share somebody with somebody else, and that's the truth. You can't say that you love yourself and you willing to let somebody physically abuse you nor verbally abuse you. Because
that's facts.
If you love yourself, you never let somebody tear down the walls that God built within you. So my whole thing is this: you can never. That's one thing people is not real with themselves. I mean, I can say I haven't been real with myself at times, and I said I have not loved myself the right way. Yes. Off of trying to dim my light for somebody else to shine, and that's what you don't want to do. Period.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to dull yourself down, because somebody that actually cares about you will want you to be the best you that you can be, and they don't want to dim your light or make you not accept you as you are, because nobody is perfect in the first place. So but the first, to me, the start of all of that is learning how to talk to God, building up your relationship with God, and that's just talking to Him, praying to Him, reading your Bible.
Right, and then this is the thing, and I don't mean to cut you off, Mama, but I feel like I want people to know it don't matter what your background is, whether you're gay, whatever you are, man, woman, trans, whatever you are, like whatever your beliefs are, whatever race you are, God loves everybody the same. No matter what you done, you can always be forgiven, but you gotta forgive yourself first.
That's true.
And you cannot say that you take it up to God. And I want everybody to hear this. You cannot say you take something up to God, but you keep on worrying about it and you keep on letting it repeat in your mind. Because the biggest thing, you could be your biggest enemy, your worst critic.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you could overthink things, one, or you could always look at yourself in the mirror and be like, oh, well, I don't look like this. I don't like that. Like, I don't have the best teeth. I don't have the best hairline. Like, look at me. I have a big forehead.
Well, D'Angelo, you don't have to point out everything about yourself because ain't nobody walking this earth perfect. Okay, that's why they have.
But you're gonna say like,
no. But let me just be for real. That's why they have plastic surgery, because if a person don't feel comfortable, however they were physically born, or sometimes accidents happen too, and then they try to correct whatever happened that was accidental, or they just not feeling whatever part of their body that they don't like, and they try to change it. You know what I mean? So nobody's perfect. That's why there's makeup, there's contour, there's hair, there's tans, there's even they have implants for men now for their bodies to make
but
their
I'm saying the reason why
muscles.
I only said, like, I said my physical parts and my whole thing, once upon a time I felt like those parts made me look ugly. But my whole thing, I love who I am, so I'm able to make fun of myself. Because if I can make fun of myself, then I love myself. Because if I took everything I said seriously when I saw this camera, then I'll be like, oh, I do got a big forehead. My head is too big. I love my big forehead because at least I got a forehead. Yeah. I love my eyes so I can see out of them. I love my teeth, at least I got all my teeth.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people is born with disabilities, mental disabilities, physical disabilities, and incapabilities. Like, at the end of the day, you have to be appreciative of what God give you, because what you have could always be taken away, whether it's financial stuff, whether it's what you look, and you could get humbled down, and people don't realize that just because you're doing well now, don't take it for granted, because your health could be gone tomorrow, and your life could be gone tomorrow.
It could be gone in the next few seconds. I mean, nothing is guaranteed. That's why it's so important, and I'm glad that you touched on that, your imperfections, because we all have them. Ain't nobody perfect, but to me, however you feel about yourself, it's gonna make you either like be down on yourself, or either you're gonna come out and just be you and not worry about what other people think.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And that type of self-love, to me, in my opinion, can't happen until you build up your relationship with God and talk to him. Because for me, God gave me my validation. You know what I mean? That's the only validation that I truly need. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And like, outside of humans, honestly, like, outside of humans, the only person I trust and fully I trust is my mom. I have a group of friends, and I'm blessed to have friends. I'm blessed to have family. I'm blessed to have life, period. But I trust my mom because I know that she's not going to use anything against me. And not saying that my friends use anything against me, but I mean, that's the first person I seen when I was born, and that's the person that's been by my side through my whole life, good and bad and indifferent. So I felt like with all the stuff that she had been through, like, in life, like, she's a strong woman, and the only reason why she's so strong is because her faith. And she lives with her faith. So you don't have to go to. Then this the thing. You have to go to church every day to have faith or believe in God. Yeah, don't let nobody determine your relationship with God. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, well, you don't go to church. That you can't have no relationship. Your faith ain't that strong. Nobody can tell you that. Nobody can determine your relationship with God except your own self. And my whole thing is this: you can start today have a relationship with God by talking to God. And it ain't gotta be about. You gotta wait for nothing bad to happen. You can just call and be like, "Thank you, God. I don't know. I had a food on my plate. Thank you. I can see the sun again. Like, that's all you have to do. You don't gotta. My life is going bad. I lost my job. Yeah. I gotta talk to you. Then that's one thing that you don't want to do. You don't want to keep on coming to God because you got a problem. You want to come to God because the fact of the matter, you're just appreciative of life. Period. Yeah. And that's what matters the most, because right now, like, even for both of us, like, I'm blessed to have a mother. And with her whole situation that she experienced with, her having cancer or whatever, like, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I wasn't, like, depressed or feeling a way about it. But my whole thing is this. God is real and you could see it in her. And I'm not saying this because that's my mom. Because, I mean, if she wasn't the way she is on camera and off camera, then I wouldn't be on this YouTube thing. But I'm just saying, like, her spirit is filled with God. Like, because my whole thing is that she has been through a lot. My mom had me at a young age, was going to school, working, graduated, went to college, working. We on a bus together. Like, at the end of the day, that's God. You know what I'm saying? You got to believe in yourself. And this is for anybody. It wasn't me. My mom older than me. Like, but my whole thing, it wasn't me. I mean, I didn't have to struggle for anything, but I saw it. When I was younger, I saw it out for a different kind of love. Like, and this keep my age to do the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. You have a great home, but it's a different love when you from your parents and a romantic love. And I thought I was so strong that nobody could tear me down until I got with the wrong person to show me that I didn't love myself the right way. Exactly. Just like how she said. And my mother always used to tell me, "Oh, well, I don't want you to date. You see on a date. Yeah, you naive. It's too many wolves of sheep clothing." Mm-hmm. But I had to learn the hard way. And my whole thing is this: whether you watch this video for a second, or whether you watch the whole thing, take out of this that don't let nobody take what God put in you. Don't let nobody make you feel like you are worth nothing.
Amen.
And if that person, if you get a little sign in your gut that person's not meant for you, then that's God.
Yep.
And let it be what it is.
Yes.
Heartbreak may feel like it's gonna last for like a lifetime, but it don't last a second. Mm-hmm. And what's meant for you will stay there. What's gone, God will remove out the way. So let Him remove it, like today. And don't try to run from it, because you only hurting yourself. You only do damage to yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't do that, because you letting that devil win. That doubt in your head with anything, that's the devil. Let it go.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with you so much. Like, I feel like even when I was dating your bio person, you know what I mean? Like, if you keep breaking up or want to break up and things is just hard, dating shouldn't be hard like that. Dating should make you want to get married to that person.
Right.
Like, it shouldn't be a struggle, like a real hard struggle. Because if you're struggling in your dating, if you ever get married, what do you think is going to happen? You know what I mean? It is what it is. A person shows you who they are, believe what they show you, and don't try to make it more than what it is if it isn't what it is, you know?
Exactly. And it's just like, I really want to say something though. Mm-hmm. Okay. My own personal experience. I'm not going to bring up nobody else's stuff because I just don't want to do it. I'm just going to talk about me. Mm-hmm. So, me personally, I'm 22, given the age that I am now. And, back then, I really felt like when I lost my virginity, I was 16. Okay, so I felt like my mother always taught me, my parents, not just my mother, my father, my mother, my grandparents, but most of my mother always told me, like, when you give yourself away, a piece you gonna go with that person. Like, your virginity and your body is a temple. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like a soul tie, basically. Mm-hmm. And like, when I lost it, I really thought the person that I lost it to really cared about me, because I made them wait and they didn't impress me. They had sex. I just thought, like, well, they impressed me, so they really care about me, and they must really like the things like me for me. Mm-hmm. So when I did it, that person felt like they had control over me, what I did, my happiness, me hanging out with my friends. Mind you, I was 16. The person was a little bit older and stuff, but that showed you in itself I had no business in, because I allowed that person to control every little thing that made me happy. The dreams that I had for myself, I allowed that person to be like, oh, well, if you do that, then you gonna leave me, so you don't need to do that. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna prove my love to this person.
And that's being a child. And that's another thing though, mm-hmm. about dating young and having sex young. I don't think is anything wrong. Like, if you like 16, 17 and you start going on dates, but like just actually getting out, being social with someone, right, but not having sex. I don't recommend sex at an early age. Honestly, from my own experience, I would say, and I don't even have to say just even my own experience, but I could tell you best out of my own experience. That's why I would tell him that he should wait until he's older. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with going to the movies or going to the park or having like a chaperone date even with your with an older person that's there with y'all. I don't think. I honestly, I think that's probably best.
I mean, I feel like that. I feel like parents should have trust in their children, but only if their children make them feel like they can have trust within them. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that they're not being sneaky and stuff like that.
That's true.
Because my whole thing is this: I'm gonna be honest. When it came to me being 16 and stuff, it's different things that I did that was being sneaky at that time and being honest and stuff like that. And my whole thing is only hurt me. Only hurt me in the end because that person ended up being not only mentally abusive, but trying to be physical abusive. You don't want to be in nothing like that. You don't. That's not cute. It's not cute. The class of being in love with somebody, but you cannot listen. It's no love where a person will tear you down, and it's no love where a person will put their hands on you. So if you think that's love, then you need to seek help. And most of all, the first person you need to go to is God and talk to Him. And listen, you don't have to. If you don't feel comfortable going to your mama, go to him. You go in the bathroom, go to your room.
Even if you do feel comfortable talking to your mom, your dad, or whoever.
Right, but I'm saying if you don't, because it's a lot of people that fit that. Honestly, you know, it's a shame to looking weak. And to me telling my story is not me looking weak. I'm trying to tell somebody out there, whether they older than me, younger than me. Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, help
take your
time.
Enjoy it. And I know some people that was younger than me, like in the 5th grade, the 4th grade, talking about having sex. And my whole thing is this. Don't be a follower. At the end of the day, do what you want to do because you want to do. If you do, I'm going to be honest, if you do end up having sex at a young age,
protect yourself,
but think about it. Think about the repercussions. It's always because it's not just about getting pregnant or STD. It's always a repercussion even mentally. Sometimes you're not even mentally ready to have sex, but you do it anyway because my body, I'm grown. But then you catch feelings, that person want to dump you or just use you just as a whole. Then you stuck.
Yes.
You like, I don't know how I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna go on and my life is over. Listen, you shouldn't. And when you're 20, your life should never be over. And if you're 30, your life should never be over nobody. At the end of the day, if they can't get with you the right way without want to have sex with you, then move them to the left.
That's true. Honestly, to all my virgins out there, if there's any virgins out here listening, please hold your virginity like it's the biggest diamond ever. And even if you're not a virgin, if you're trying to be celibate.
Yes.
If you're trying to be celibate, please treat it like it's precious to you because people make mistakes. It doesn't mean you have to live in it forever. You know what I mean? Like it's like touching a hot stove. Like once you feel that burn, you don't have to keep on touching it. That doesn't make sense, you know. And especially for my young men, my young women, like my teenagers, please, because I was a young mom. Like I was pregnant with him, like shortly after I lost my virginity. So, like less than a year after I lost my virginity, I was somebody's mom. Seriously. And it is such a big responsibility. I love my son. I would not trade him for nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wouldn't trade him. But I don't recommend having babies before you're ready, though.
Exactly. But I do want to say this. Even if you do, because everybody do make mistakes.
Yeah.
And if you do get pregnant or whatever, my whole thing is this. Don't doubt yourself. Nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Don't doubt yourself. Because at the end of the day, everybody make mistakes. But if you're gonna choose to be a parent to that child, make sure that you're mentally ready to be a parent to that child. Because I know a lot of people that have kids, but they have a child mentality like their child, like their child. And my whole thing is this: you don't want to ruin a child's innocence. Off of your ignorance. And that's one thing. If you're going to have kids, make sure that you are mentally ready. It's not just you want to be financially ready too, but I'm just saying make sure you are mentally ready. Well, I wasn't
financially ready. I was at my parents' house
but I'm just saying, most of all, make sure you are mentally ready though. That's what I'm saying. Like, because it's a lot of people you see on Facebook, see on the news that wasn't mentally ready, had kids and they kill their kids. They snap because they not used to kids crying and stuff, and they snap. And you just know.
And it's easy to lay down. It's very easy to just get caught up in a moment. Most people are not planning their babies when they get pregnant. especially when they're young. No, nobody usually plan a baby when they're young. So it's like, basically, protect yourself. If you just must have sex, protect yourself. That's the best thing I can tell you. If you can't be celibate, at least ladies, young ladies, if you're too scared to buy your own condoms, you shouldn't be having sex. That's the first thing. The same thing for boys. If you're too scared to buy your own condoms, or if you're embarrassed by those little things, don't have sex. Because
and then my whole thing I want to say is too, and just being real about something, that whole pull out thing is not effective birth control. So my whole thing is this: if you letting a guy stick you raw, and guys, if you thinking that pulling out is gonna not get somebody pregnant, you need to really not even try to don't need to have sex.
That what that means, raw, for people who don't know what that means, if I have any younger viewers, that means not using a condom. Having unprotected sex is also referred to as raw. And then also pulling out means before the guy fully ejaculates, he pulls himself out of the female vagina.
Right. And my whole thing is this also too. Women and guys. So I'm gonna go with women first, and I'm gonna go with guys. This is this is a fair opportunity. It's equal fair ground. Well, women, if you get signs that this guy is only there with you because you have a banging body and just like cause you that girl or whatever, he ain't for you. Because let me tell you, if you get pregnant by him, he gonna be up into the next one. So take that as something. Don't let no guy keep you as no trophy. Okay. Have a guy that wants you regardless of you. If your face got burnt off tomorrow, he's still gonna be with you because your insides. So in your heart, and that's what you call real love. That's love. That's real love, unconditional love. And guys, if you do have a baby, this is one thing, or get somebody pregnant. I hate when guys that whether it's family, friends, or people I just know and I heard like, oh, well, I was trying to get her pregnant. I'm not ready for all that, but you ready to have sex. That's the difference. That's for these women, and gay guys too. That's the difference between a man and a boy. And some stories like, I'm not ready. I wasn't ready for this. I'm not ready for this. But you ready to have sex though. Yeah, so make it make sense. Make it add up. You're not ready.
Thinking about what's happening right now. Nobody.
Okay, so like I said. If he got time to play, let him stay at recess and don't play with you.
I know that's right.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. If he want to play, let him be a little boy. And he play at recess. He go on the playground. Don't play with you, because you focus. This is for everybody, young and old. Focus on loving you, your goals, and live your best life. Because at the end of the day, when your life is gone and over with, you cannot rewind it back.
No, you
so don't take nothing for granted.
Yes, please don't take it for granted. Make it count. And for me, I just want to praise God all along the way and thank him because he has been so awesome. Like, I have dealt with cancer this year, and like I said on my other tape, when I'm crying and making a million faces and stuff, I'm glad I'm not crying today. But you know what? Those was happy tears.
And you deserve to cry. So, my whole thing
those was happy tears.
You are a warrior, and at the end of the day, your testimony, whether it's seen a couple people, it hit somebody's house, and that video could be shared and shared and shared amongst the people that seen it.
Yeah,
and you can help somebody else's heart, body, and mind. And that's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do as brothers and sisters. And when we all die, that's what we all gonna be known as, brothers and sisters. And that's what I'm talking about negativity versus positivity.
Yeah, that's true.
This video, people that's watching, y'all may look at it like, oh, this is a little people. That's what they talking about. But guess what? One day something may happen, and God may make something happen where you see that whatever somebody told you, whether it's this video or your mama said it, your grandma said it, your grandfather said it, or your daddy said it,
that made you think about
okay,
whatever.
And it's gonna put you right back to what was said on this video. And my whole thing is this: don't take life for granted. Don't take any moment for granted, because at the end of the day, it could be always taken away in a moment and stuff. And she is a living testimony. And stuff. There's plenty of people. We all are living testimonies. But I'm just saying, personally, but I know a personal person who are living testimony. And I'm not just saying that because you are mama. It's the whole fact that matter is this: you have been through a lot, and God kept you. And God kept you because my whole thing, you believed in Him. Amen. And you put your trust in Him. When you put your trust in Him, it's that's the result. That's the result. You put your trust in God.
God is so good.
He gonna make a way. He gonna show out.
Yes, he do.
So, but my whole thing is this: you can't. This one thing I want people to understand. It may not happen on your time, but it's
No.
always gonna happen on the right time.
And God's
So
time
you have to
is
put your
perfect.
faith
Yeah.
and stuff. Because let me say something. I work at a factory. I'm not gonna say it was the factory name,
Mhm.
but it was a probationary period, and I recently got hired in where my pay got raised. But it was plenty of people that tried to make me resort in a different way and make me go off and try to get me out of there.
They're trying to discourage you.
But my whole thing is
ignorance.
this. I used to go in the bathroom, I used to pray, and I used to pray. Not even just going to the bathroom, pray. I used to pray to myself like, God, please don't put my hands on them. As long as I'm not perfect. As long as you could, sometimes it's hard not to revert back. But my whole thing is this. I have to think about it. Why would I give somebody the power to take away my blessing when the only person that can block mine is myself?
You're right.
And at the end of the day,
preach, say that.
At the end of the day, you got to know
That is
that.
so true.
Don't ever give a person the power to block anything. Because the person that block anything is just self.
Yep.
You control your own narration. God knows what happened next. You control you the pencil that writes the chapters.
Yeah, you can't give people power over your emotions.
Exactly.
To the point where you lose yourself. And that's why it's so important to talk to God about everything. And
right.
You can talk to him at any time. I don't care if you're at school, if you at your job, if you in your car, if you in the shower, you in the whatever. And that's why I love God so much, is because he is so unconditional.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because out here you could lose yourself with people with negativity. And you can get, thrown in that and actually put your spirit in that. And when you get mad and angry, you want to mess things up or rip people apart, so like that, that's the devil. Because normally,
we ain't on topic no more, are we? I'm sitting here like.
But no, I'm just saying like, I'm saying that.
But what you're saying is the truth.
No, I'm saying this because I just feel like it was a whole bunch of things that God put in my head and the things that, like, I'll be honest, when I first got on the camera, I didn't know what I was going to say. But now I was like, okay. Once the camera roll, I'm like, okay, it just started coming to me with different things that it's on my mind that I want to talk about that I feel like people need to hear about, because I feel like things happen around you for a reason to delay the message. Just like when people write songs and sing songs, sometimes music is therapy. Just like I know words is therapeutic. So I may not be singing to you, but I know I may be saying something to you that may be hitting your soul right now. So
yeah, and that's how I felt the other day when I was doing, because guys, I had my surgery on Wednesday and today is Sunday. Hopefully this will be posted tomorrow, because I don't think it's going to get posted today. So I'm happy that my baby came and saw me today. And is there anything else that you want to talk about self-love though?
Self-love. Also,
or when it comes to dating or finding the love within yourself, because that's what our topic is supposed to be.
Right, but I mean, all the things I'm talking about, I feel like it counts in self-love too, because my whole thing is loving yourself is not just about dating wise. Loving yourself is about career wise and everything. If you don't love yourself, then you are able to move within. If you don't love yourself, you are able to get influenced by anything, and it take you off your game and off your focus. True. And that's my whole thing. If you love yourself, you have tunnel vision. You know where you want to go. It's not about where you came from; it's about where you're going. Then you gotta focus on that, and that's the thing. Like, that's a part of loving yourself too. It all factors in. So that's why I think I was going everywhere, because I feel like this is all aspects of loving yourself also.
That's true in your life. I mean, because self-love is so important, and that's why it's so good to learn how to accept yourself as you are. For me, it's been a process. You know what I mean? Like, when I was young and didn't know any better, I would compare myself to other people, or
I did the same thing.
You know what I mean? I think that's just natural sometimes when you're young, but now that I'm grown and I'm mentally more mature and I've lived longer, the thing for me is just, I love my flaws because it made me who I am. Like, if I didn't have some of my flaws, I wouldn't have been able, by the grace of God, to end up not being so shallow. Like, I realize you are more than.
And one thing about this is this: I learned this from my mother and stuff. And let me tell you this, because it's on my heart. One thing about loving yourself, it'd be a group of people that is against you. But if God's stand beside you,
the world can be.
But you don't need nobody else.
You're right.
And stuff. You gotta be. And one thing about this, there's nothing wrong with standing alone. There's
a
nothing
lot of
wrong about
times
sitting alone.
it's like that. A lot
There's
of the
nothing
time.
wrong with it. Like, it's a lot of people that like to follow people, like, and I don't understand why. Because I'd rather sit alone than have my own brain than be following the next human. The person I'm gonna follow is God. I'm not gonna follow a human being.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna trust my heart. Like that. Like that's what I feel like people need to learn. Like,
yeah, you have to. That's when you learn, when you realize that God didn't put you here for no reason. That's the first part for me, is just knowing that God don't make junk, and if you made it to this earth, then you here for a reason. You just might not know why you here yet, but you here with a purpose, and don't waste your life worrying about, you drive yourself crazy. You can't please everybody. That's the first thing. Everybody ain't gonna like how you think or how you talk or how, you know what I mean?
right.
Like you, but you know that if God be for you, if the world is against you, as long as God is for you, you're gonna be all right regardless to whatever anybody say, no matter what anybody try to do. If God is for you, is no door that cannot be opened or broke
and
down.
the best to compare, and that's the best thing possible. You can walk through the valley of shadows, but at the end of the day, God put a star in you that shines. So don't let nobody take out your light.
Amen. Don't dim your light
for nobody.
And if you don't know you have a light inside of you, keep talking to God and He will show you, or start talking to God. Keep talking and start talking if you haven't already. Exactly. Because nobody's life is purposeless.
And stuff. And I do want to say more. I don't know if you want to still talk about some more or not. Like,
well, we can do is it going to be on this subject?
Or? Yeah, it's going to be on the subject.
Oh, like, you can keep going. So I got time.
I want to say something. I mean, I know I ain't trying to just make it all about me.
Yeah, but like, you can only talk through your own life experience.
I'm saying, I feel like I could give like some stuff off of me. And I just want to say about me, but I'm not going to give too much. Mm-hmm. Personally, I am a black gay male. And my whole thing is this. At the end of the day, like, you know, part of Love Myself came a long way. It's not just always about, you know, outside of like your people. And I mean, I had people saying stuff on the, you know, outside my house, but I feel like I love my family. I love my family a lot, but I feel like a part of, you know, like, people I feel like who people that are, you know, of the LGBT community can get what I'm saying. Meaning is like, you know, your family loves you, but they may not understand your decisions and stuff. Like my parents, they always supported me and stuff, but I had a couple other folks in my family that didn't really like understand, and it came out as ignorant of what their commentary may have been. And my whole thing is this. At the end of the day, nobody's perfect. There's people that, you know, have babies before they get married. People that cuss every day. People sin every day and stuff. And I don't feel like no sin is greater than the next. And even if you do walk in the same like lifestyle as me, God loves you. Yeah. And stuff. And it's people that I know they can get kicked out and God is so their body, not know where to go. And at the end of the day, regardless of whatever you did or whatever, it's never too late for you. Nope. And you're never alone. At the end of the day, no matter if you're on the street or in the bed somewhere or at a homeless shelter. No, it's not the end. It's not over. It's just the beginning. Over.
I love you. If you don't have anybody else to say, I love you. I love you. I love you. I got human love for everybody. You know what I mean? I don't have to have seen your face.
We love people that we don't even know or haven't seen. And so we pray for everybody. We hope that everybody
love for all
blossom,
people.
Live, and is covered in Jesus.
Yes.
And, you know, just go on with their life here the best as they could be.
And I hate that it's kids out here and adults, but you know what I mean, that lose their families because of their sexuality. Because to me, if you being a Christian, if you love God, like the way that you want God to love you, in my opinion, is loving everybody else the same. You know what I mean? You gotta, like, to me, I haven't talked to God about what it's like to be gay or straight. I mean, I just know I've always been straight. You know what I mean? But like when you have a baby, you don't know if your baby what they're gonna be. You just want to be healthy. You know what I mean? And as a parent of a person from the LGBTQ, all them letters community.
but I was saying, like, for real, like, honestly, it's like, to me, I felt like to my, you know, straight, gay, whatever, bisexual people, don't do this. Don't go just because you feel like your family don't support you or your family may be discouraging you or may kick you out. Don't want for love. Don't look for love in the wrong places.
Yeah, and it's
because
easy
that's
to
a
do,
part
though.
of going down the wrong path. And the reason why I'm telling you this because out of experience, my whole thing is this: I did not come from a bad home. I never had to struggle for anything. But my whole thing, and I had a support system. But my whole thing is this: it just was certain people that just it hurt. I'm not gonna lie, I have feelings too. It hurt about certain things that was said or done. But my whole thing is this: don't look for the love in the wrong places. Cause that's a quick way to end up in the grave. One, and two, you could be living and be dead because your soul is all used. Your body is so used up.
Yeah, and that's stuff. True.
And you don't want to do that. You don't want to give nobody that power.
Nope.
Whether you are gay, straight, whatever, you have a light.
Yeah,
you have a purpose. And you have a plan.
We are humans. Before we gay, straight, or whatever, we are human beings. You know what I mean? And God created us all. So at the end of the day, we all belong to the Lord. You know what I mean? And just like everything in this earth and out of this earth is His too. Right. So at the end of the day, I'm just so thankful that He did bring that up, like, because I love you. You know, I love you.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? I'm going to love you beyond this world. You know what I mean?
Right, and I do. So, I know that. And so I just wanted to say that because my whole thing is that there's a lot of people that I know or whatever ain't long for love in the wrong places. And it's not even just about a gay thing. It's girls that long for love in the wrong places because of what they see at home. And one thing about this, I do want to say so valuable to women that have daughters. Make sure you teach your daughter to love themselves.
Yeah,
because it's a lot of girls that are physically grown and the age of being grown, but mentally they are still little girls. So how they let these men treat them. Make sure you know your daughter is a black queen, and ain't black or Armenian or white queen or whatever.
Yeah,
Mexican, her Arabic, whatever. Like you are a queen, you are worth something. God didn't put you here without purpose. Don't let no man make you feel like you just a disposal.
Yes.
And my whole thing is and this is a big thing. What you teach your kids, what they see, they analyze. And it's some people that go away from what they see, and they take the good parts and they dispose of negative things. But it's some kids that really absorb everything that they see,
and they just repeat it.
And
like the cycle continues.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's the thing. You want to break things like that. You want to break bad things. If you in a relationship that's abusive, you have a child, let it go.
Yes.
Because you don't want that child to be seeing that and they think it's okay or do it to the next person.
Yes.
If you don't do that, if you don't have the strength for yourself, at least have the strength for your child.
Exactly.
At least look at that child, whether it's a boy or girl, whatever. And be able to be like, you know what? If I can't be strong for myself, I'll be strong for my baby.
That's how I feel. Yeah, if I couldn't do it for me, I thank God that He gave me the strength to do it for me and you. Because I ain't been trying to go to jail. And
right.
You know what I mean? I'm just going to be honest.
Like, and it could be like that. Like, it's real situations like enough. Yeah. Like, it's really like that. Because sometimes you don't never want, and that's another thing too. You don't never want to be in a situation where you feel like you got to actually kill somebody because you know you may have to stand your ground law now, but at the end of the day, think about your mental.
Think about what you giving up, and then I feel so bad for like women or men, but what I hear about in the news mostly is like women who tried to leave whatever abusive spouse they was with, and that person ended up killing them as they was, you know what I mean, they got away, but then they went back for some reason, or either that person was tracking them down.
Because let me tell you something, in my little 6-year-old Twilight Saga, at the end of the day, like, I mean, I'm laughing about it now because it's like,
it's the past.
It's the past. It could be funny. You know what I'm saying? You could be like, oh, I was so dumb then, but I'm smart now. But you know what I'm saying? Like, back then, it's like, that person I was with, like, they choked me. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, I can fight back. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like no punk or anything. But I'm just saying, like, honestly, like, you can't beat up everybody. I don't got hands still. But I done been choked and I done been smacked. And my whole thing is this: I should have never went through that being that age. And that's why I'm